Welcome to Decades of Horror, the 1970s.
That's why she tore off the head of the doll and of the duck.
This is episode 266, reviewing Don't Torture a Duckling from 1972, recorded April 22nd, 2026. And go!
Gruesome Magazine.
I'm your host, Doc Rod, and this podcast about horror movies released between 1970 and 1979. Each episode, my co-host and I will tackle another classic, or not so classic, film from this wondrous, groovy, gory, and influential decade. Golf clap. All right, joining me this week are my co-hosts themselves, starting off with the one and only returning co-host, Jeff Moore.
I'm good. I'm peachy.
Just
a little warning. We got a lot of feedback.
Oh, lots of feedback. Sounds good.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I know you were on the last episode, but
I was
I'm so happy to have you back.
I am happy to be here.
As he picks his nose.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to deal with my nose is running because it's like 64 degrees in my basement.
No.
Once you start running the air conditioner, I gotta shut all the vents in the basement and open all the windows so it heats up during the day. Because once the air conditioner comes on, it just makes it colder and colder and colder.
Oh man!
It just cold air pours down the stair. Wait, what am I talking about?
I don't know.
Back to the movie.
Also joining us tonight is Bill Mulligan, writer, director, special effects guru, all around nice guy, published author.
Yeah.
Man with a beard, lover of cats.
Oh boy, that pretty much sums it up.
Just like that. That. Yeah. Also joining us tonight is Chad Hunt, comic artist, co-host of Decades of Horror Classic Era and the 80s.
With the cool green shirt.
How you doing, Chad? Like, what are you waiting on?
I'm good. Ask a question.
Usually you ask, how you doing, Chad? And then I say some smart ass comment.
Yeah, I know. We're running all script here.
That'll teach me.
Chad?
I'm good.
All right. Jeff, would you like to say a little something about Play Now Media?
Sure. We are partnering with Play Now Media, and they have a lot of subgenre. Subgenre, maybe even subgenre. I don't know. I haven't outlined them all, flowcharted them. But anyway, streaming channels with topics, and we are on the Wicked Horror TV channel, so you can watch us there. It's you can just go watch stuff there. It's free. You get ads, some premium content you won't get access to, or you could subscribe. And then you will have no ads and get to see all the premium content. And there's some good stuff there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to get into a little bit of the whatnot background of Don't Torture a Duckling from 1972. Then we're going to give you our first impressions when we first saw this film. And then we're going to talk about the promotion and the cast. And then wrap things up, like Jeff said, with some feedback. And we encourage you to stick around for that because the feedback is awesome. And of course, we hope you will like and subscribe, share with a friend, because every click helps us find another horror fan just like you. But let's get things going. Don't Torture a Duckling from 1977. I'm confused. I thought it was earlier. I thought it was 71, but hey, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's always something I left off. So there's a number one. 72, actually.
72. There you go. Director Lucio Fulci, written by Lucio Fulci and Roberto Giovanni and Gianfranco Clarici. Names. Cast includes Florinda Balkan, Barbara Bouchette, Thomas Milan, or Million, Irene Pappas, Mark Porrell, George Wilson, and Antonello Campodiorio. I added an extra O at the end, but we love you. Production company is Medusa Distribution. Filming locations are in Italy. Filming dates were May 2nd through July of 1972. Release date was September 20th, 1972 in Italy, May 29th, 75 in Mexico. And its video premiere date was in 2000 in the U.S. Wow.
It was never released in the U.S. as like an erase. I'm not saying it never showed, but it was never got an official release.
That's interesting. That's interesting. It just never made it across the seas. All right. Well, what's this box office?
The box office. This is interesting because this number jumps out so much. This is the Italian box office. 1.1 billion Italian lira.
Ooh.
Which is $5 in US dollars.
It made a lot of lira.
In 1972, that was 1.9 million.
Okay.
Not too shabby. In current dollars, it would be 15 million.
Okay.
All right. Well, that made some money, I suppose. When a southern Italian town is rocked by a string of child murders, the police and two urban outcasts search for the culprit and amid scapegoating within the superstitious community. And by golly, that
guy looking through the crack was the first scapegoat.
Yep.
Many.
First of many.
Yeah, it just went all over the place. Like a good mystery does.
Yep.
It was obvious who it was all along. But anyway, no, maybe not. Maybe it was. I don't know. You watch. You find out. Let's find out what we thought about this. Chad, this was your pick, right?
Nope.
No, who picked this monster? Bill did.
Me. It's a me, Mario.
What? When did you first watch this
Bill
film? What did you think, and what was your first impression?
The first time I saw this was a couple years ago because Dragon Con was doing a Lucio Fulci panel, and I figured I'd better catch up on some of the ones I hadn't seen. And I sought this one out. I knew this was one of his very first horror films. It wasn't. I don't think it was his first giallo, but it's the one that people say, and I can see why after watching it, that this is the one that we began to see the Fulci that we came to know and love, and in my case, start to appreciate a lot more. So he's an interesting filmmaker. Did a lot of stuff. I mean, he did everything. He was a working filmmaker. People say he's a hack because constantly working, churning stuff out. Didn't really have any identifiable thing about him until horror came along, and he was good at it. And then that became what he did. But I think this is the one I think he really liked of all his films. This is the one he seemed to mention a lot as being his favorite. And I wonder if maybe he regretted becoming the Lucio Fulci of Zombi and Cat in the Brain and all these other gore fests and everything, because this one, it's got a little bit of that gore, nothing compared to what he came up with later. But at its, for the most of it, it's just a crackling good mystery with really solid filmmaking. I love his compositions. I like his use of everything. He's, for so long, I thought of him as kind of being the low budget, poor version of the Bava Argento Fulci thing. And he was always the one on the bottom. And I mean, Bava's still my favorite, but I've come to appreciate I think in a lot of ways, Fulci's stuff has held up better than Argento's, although Suspiria is still my favorite movie. I like this one a lot. I think it's a good mystery, good characters. After a while you figure out just because someone is an obvious likely suspect, it's not them. And that pretty quickly, if you watch enough CSI at this point, it's kind of hard to pull off a mystery anymore. We're almost trained to figure out it's not this obvious one and it's not that obvious one. And this guy's giving you no reason to think it's him. Therefore, it's almost certainly him. But all that being said, I enjoy it, still enjoy it now. Is it perfect? I mean, nothing's perfect. I don't think faces actually spark when they hit cliffs on the way down.
But it's kind of cool that they did.
But
They
you know
should.
what? I
But they
can't say
should.
for sure they don't because haven't experienced that. I did fall off a cliff once, and then there was no sparking. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of rocks falling, but it's great.
You
It's
fell off a
fun.
cliff?
I was okay. So in my defense,
The
there were
bat suit didn't
fossils.
work. It was from
there
acne.
were fossils in the cliff, and I'm really into fossils. So and they're few and far between. Probably because no one else was stupid enough to go climbing on this cliff, and I'm chiseling away at it. Now, I don't know if you guys remember much about earth science, but fossils are generally found in sedimentary rock, and sedimentary rock is not the strongest kind of rock. It's kind of crumbly. So it crumbled, and it wasn't a sheer cliff. It was more of a angled
Okay.
cliff. So I didn't fall so much as roll. But I dislodged a lot of rocks on the way down. So I fell, tumbling down, hit the bottom. Then I'm pelted by rocks. And then, just to add insult to injury, hit by the hammer I was using to dislodge.
Oh, no.
And that's when you said, whoops.
And that's when I could hear. And then just to add more insult to injury, I could hear the laughter of the people who, were watching this. Followed by "Are you okay?" which came way too late to be sincere. But I don't think there was any sparks. The point is there was no sparks going on. But that was just a ludicrous but wonderful ending, and I really enjoy this movie, and I think it's something. It's a good intro to Fulci. Actually, give this one to people. I'm like, okay, yeah, that was pretty good. Then hit him with City of the Living Dead or whatever.
Yeah.
Beyond, and so it's very different from those. It shows maybe a different path he could have taken, but I like it. So I was happy to pick it again. Holds up.
Excellent. Chad Hunt, when did you first see this? What was your first impression? And all that
This is the first time I saw this, and I've known about it for quite a while, but I thought for a long time I thought it was a Giallo. It's got one of those Giallo names, Don't Torture a Duckling. So I bypassed it. Never wanted to really watch it. Never even read a synopsis of it or anything. So this is the first time, and I really kind of enjoyed it. There were some slow parts, talky parts in there, some awkward dialogue, which I'm pretty sure it was the dubbing. Pretty much. But and I figured out who it was as soon as he came on screen. I kind of knew who it was, but it was still told in a way that that I enjoyed. It was the two sort of outcasts, the journalist guy and I guess she was like a socialite type girl in town. Even though I questioned her character a lot when she's
a weird one.
When she was nude in front of the little kid there, and that was a weird part. But especially if the movie's wanting you to like her, she comes off as and maybe he did that because it was to throw off the audience as to who the real killer was, But overall, I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed the scraping of the face on the way down the cliffside at the very end. I thought that was just icing on the cake for me. I was like, "There's the Fulci I know right there," I did enjoy it for what it was. Yeah, I did. So,
all right, Jesser, when did you first see this, and what was your first impression?
Well, I watched this once before, but it's one of the things I don't remember hardly any of it when I watched it this time, and I think it's one of those things, when you're doing it for the podcast, I pay way more attention than I do if I just put something on to see what it's like, because I should just quit doing that because later I come back and watch him and go, damn, this is a pretty good movie. This is a pretty good story. Lots of twists. I love the cinematography. I thought was great. I think this is one of those ones where the locations are almost a character. You know, that whole highway that was raised up on the trellises
Yes.
must be a famous highway, I'm sure, in Italy. And then the town was so those small villages. And I guess this was set in southern Italy to kind of because that's where there's much more superstition. That's like the part of Italy that has some of the superstitions are still surviving. Anyway, I enjoyed the sets amazing a lot. Love the actors. Loved I thought, when there's some brutal scenes in here when and I forget her name, Machiara, Florinda Bolkan, when she gets killed. Yeah. What a brutal scene. Mm-hmm. And it's carried all the way to the end. And then the kids die and all that stuff was they wisely did not show the kids' deaths graphic, right. But they always kind of showed the aftermath, just a shot of a kid's body with like his skull split open in the back. And that's just, it's horrendous. I just letting people know what they're in for if they watch this flick. So, but I enjoyed it. Good mystery too. And the cops weren't complete idiots. They were
partially
chasing down some of the clues,
Yeah. For a Giallo-esque movie, these guys were practically Sherlock Holmes.
That's
anyway,
true. That's true.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I had to look up the song because I'm listening to it and going, she's saying El Stupido, right? And I'm like, what the hell? So I looked it up. Yes, it's a song about the English translated lyrics. There's a verse. It's like the second verse. They say something like, when we were together or when our group was together, two people loved you. I loved you and you loved you. And then the rest of the song, she's chastising herself for hanging around and keeps calling herself stupid. That's like, that's a good song. And she's a well-known Italian singer, I think. What was her name? Ornello. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Votani. But anyway, good fun.
Good fun. This was the first time I had seen this film. There was Fulci in here. I mean, especially toward the end, and some of the reliance on close-ups getting in there. He likes to do that a lot. And you can see some of the framing and hints of what he would do later in the films that we have watched over and over again, like Zombi and like you said, The Beyond and other ones. You're just like got some of that. And it is more of a murder mystery, but it does have some horrific things in there. There's a hint of some witchcraft in there as well, that with voodoo dolls and stuff. That's entertaining. The story itself has various really sad, horrific storylines going on, from the kids to the lady they say is a witch to potentially what the murderer is and everything. And even the one girl's background is rather sad and demoralizing. So it's a lot of that going on. and then on your copy, where there's like a rock song in the middle of all this.
Yes.
Okay. Is that the song you were talking about? Is that the
No, I was talking about the intro song and the outro song.
Oh, okay.
It was sung part in the middle. It was very like a ballad almost.
Yeah, because in the middle it was a rock song they were playing on the radio while they were beating her up, right?
Right.
Yeah. And doing some somewhat fancy moves. There was like a back hit to her face. I don't know. It was crazy. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. There were some pacing problems, I thought, and it kind of would lull at times, going from one suspect to another, and you're like, or come on, lady, get to the top of the hill, let's die already. Drug on a little longer than they should, but in the end, I enjoyed it. It's definitely, if you're a fan of Fulci, you want to look at this because it will give you an idea of an idea of how really a good director he actually was. And I think by, like you were saying, like by comparison, Fulci sometimes gets thrown second tier when he with Argento and others, when he really shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's a chance to see Giallo before Giallo became very tropey. We don't have to have a killer with a fedora and black gloves, but that's usually where it ended up being. But in the beginning, Giallo just means yellow. They were pulpy. They were lurid stories. It's just that, as the Italian film industry tends to do, when something becomes successful, they imitate it, greatest form of flattery, and it's got to put an animal's name in there somewhere. Black belly of the tarantula. No tarantulas are actually black bellied in the making of this film, but bird with the crystal plumage did well, so we got to put an animal in the title, and all these other things.
This one had a duckling, so
yeah, had ducklings. But yeah, like Chad was saying, it's it's not, if you don't like Giallo, you might still like this one because it doesn't have all of the excesses that some of the later ones did. Although I love them all, but
I've grown to appreciate the Giallo films. This one I think would be a nice way to ease into it.
Yeah,
and a couple of the others, Bava did one as well. And I think we've seen people falling down the cliffs and bashing their faces in other films too, right? Haven't I seen that somewhere else before?
There's one in Psychic. Isn't that the one we did with Jennifer?
Yeah, I feel like there was another one that Fulci did. Maybe it was.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't remember if that was it, but there was. Yeah, somebody fell off a cliff.
Because it was like, oh my gosh. When this one was, oh my gosh, too. But then it happened again. It was still, oh my gosh. And then it happened again. And it was still, oh my gosh.
Well, I liked how he was, he's seeing flashbacks of all the reasons why he should die, basically.
Right.
And then it takes him forever to fall down because he keeps.
Every time he takes another blunt force to the brain, he flashes back to something. I kind of want to do a film now where someone falls out of a tree and an homage to that scene, and just have his face keep hitting branches on the way down, and then
hits every branch on the way down.
Yeah,
every ugly branch on the way down. And the cliff didn't even look that steep. I mean, it was maybe 10, 15 feet of sheer cliff, and the rest of it was just rolled. He could have rolled down, but
no,
he just kept on falling.
Deserved every bang on the head.
That's right. That's right.
Oh man! All right. Well, let's before we get into the posters and the cast, let's do a little something special with Chad here.
Ooh.
Let's do taglines with Chad. Stop it.
Oh, okay.
Going away.
Well, you didn't do it. You said them in the wrong order, so I figured I had to do it.
Oh.
See, first you put the screen up, then you go, and now it's time for, and then you do taglines with Chad.
I'm being schooled.
This is awful lot of hubbub for just one tagline.
Yeah, hit the tagline.
That's why I'm stretching it out.
All right, taglines for Don't Torture a Duckling is a classic tale of the perverse from director Lucio Fulci.
Yay!
And that's
taglines with Chad.
Chad's our hero, cool and rad. With him reading taglines, they can't be that bad.
I like the way it flashes like that.
All right, let's get into the promotion of this with the posters, and we'll start off with this one, which focuses on the one suspect that has some witchy poo
Now,
aspects, right?
Mm-hmm.
we should talk about the title just a little bit.
Sure.
So the Italian title, I've got these all written down. See if I can find it. Stands for "You Don't Torture a Duckling," but it's also "Don't Torture Donald Duck," because Paparino is what they call Donald Duck in Italy. And so if you put the "un" in front of it, I guess that turns it into something different than Donald Duck. It just becomes a duckling. But anyway, that's why we get some of these oddball variations. And I'm not going to read the foreign titles, but the translations, this one has a hard time with the title. People didn't like the Torture of the Duckling. In France, it was The Long Night of Exorcism. In Germany, it was Never Torment a Child in Jest. It's okay, I guess, if you're doing it.
If you're serious, it's okay, but don't torment them. Just joking around.
Mexico, Don't Torture That Doll. Spain, Anguish of Silence. Sweden, Village of Horror. And my favorite, which I am going to say, French and Canadian, was Les Pupilles de Sang. The Blood Dolls.
Okay.
Less movies, the better.
We've run it. Yeah, we've run into that before. I forget what other one we had. Poopies was the French title, and we're just too juvenile to.
Those French.
Oh,
different
word for everything.
I like this poster.
It shouldn't work. It shouldn't work.
It kind of does.
The composition. I mean, the composition is 1/3 to 2/3. I mean, it's following some of the rules, but
kind of gives away the ending too. But
there's rules.
It's composition. Oh yeah,
it's all over the place. That for the first two pictures up there look like they're just one picture.
Yeah,
or one, and I don't know. It just it's all over the place. They would have been better off with just the woman's head,
right,
without the other pictures in it.
Yeah, I mean it does work. I think having it be scattered, non-structured rectangles, that it gives it some urgency to it.
Really? Is that what you think?
Yeah, I do. Let's move on.
I mean, I like it more than I want to.
And then there's this one. It looks like the background looks like a Van Halen album.
Yeah. Diver Down album.
Of all the images they could have used, I don't know why I'd go with this one, but
it's such an odd, I guess because we're American, I don't know, but it's such an odd title that it doesn't matter really what you put in the poster. It's not going to really convey. It's not going to go along with that title. So
right.
That is correct. And then we have this one, which
I feel like this is a modern, fancy. It's got the kind of the fake folds and aging in it. I like it. It totally gives away too much of the film, but it's as a representation of the film. It's good.
It's probably a poster someone made for a retro showing or
exactly
something. Assuming that everybody kind of knows the film and knows that that's what happens.
Except the "do not!" exclamation point. Torture a Duckling.
Ooh,
not the correct title.
No, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's improper.
When I read that, I didn't even recognize the difference. It was totally "Don't Torture a Duckling" when I read it. Isn't that funny? Totally. God, he's killing me today. All right, here's "Don't Torture a Duckling." I like this one quite a bit.
So this is for the Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yes, maybe even the 4K. Arrow's got a 4K out of this.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it too, but she couldn't have been holding Donald Duck, or Disney would have
No, no.
pounced
They would've
on it
freaked
like
out.
a.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I do like it. I do like it quite a bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, they did change the. I was surprised they went so hard with the Donald Duck thing when they did. And there's this one which has one of the creepiest scenes in
One
the
of the
movie.
creepiest shots in the whole
Mhm.
movie. And I'm guessing that's a dummy.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah, I
A really
think it was.
cooperative child
Yeah,
actor.
it looked that's what I assumed, but I don't really know what a live boy would look like in that position. So
He
Not like
says
a,
almost defensively. And then we have the poster number 5, which
This happens in the movie.
yeah,
what is the
I don't think she was
translation?
wearing stockings in it.
well, those 4 people weren't coming out of her butt. But
it looks like she's
That's
farting
what it
out.
looks like. There's just baby powder being blown out of.
Yeah. The kids
I'm
are going
sorry.
spelunking.
yes.
Oh no, spelunking. Oh no, that's terrible. Diaper
Oh,
down
my.
again. All right. And then
And
we
a
have
very deceptive poster for what we got from the movie. I imagine anyone who looked at this poster and said, "Hey, now I went to see the movie," it's like, well, I felt
Where's the
I felt a little
duckling?
misled. Yeah.
a little misled. And then we have this one. This is the one where they bring in the exorcism into it for some
I
reason.
guess. Yeah.
The longest nut of The Exorcist.
That's what it looks like. The big nut.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of torsion going on in those.
Yeah. The big
Exorcist.
cojones of the exorcist. Yeah, I mean, I want to like this, but it's kind of not good.
It's not too good.
I like the
Ooh, there's the
Simpleness
Dutch
of the-
one at the bottom.
Woman kind of looks like
De
Devil Girl from
Langdach
Mars.
van die Duivel.
Oh, what does that mean?
the long night of the
Devil?
dumbass.
Van de Duvel.
Of the devil. It might be devil. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be.
No
Jeff is
devils or exorcisms were found in this film.
No. It might have been referred to if we knew
Try
what the
to
actual
cash in on
dialogue was. Yeah. Yeah.
the Exorcist craze at the time.
Yeah,
Even though
true.
it came out 2 years later. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it all right. Well, that's our posters. Jeff is looking feverishly, I think.
It's the long night of the devil.
There you go. Bill. Good
Yeah,
job.
the whole time.
Look at that, boy. I'm
You're dead.
trilingual.
Well, knocked. Long night. Anyway.
Yep. And then we're going to go on to the director, Fulci.
So, I mean,
So-
I could put a lot of Fulci stuff, but I thought,
Oh yeah.
here's the kind of Fulci stuff he was doing at the time.
Right.
And it sort of shows he was doing Westerns. He was doing sexy stuff.
Oh,
He was doing alleged comedies. I've seen Young Dracula. It ain't funny.
White
Um, he was doing Western, like White Fang adventure films and everything. And he was churning them out. He was working. Every 2 or 3 months, there's another movie, and there's no telling what it's going to be. It's whatever the market called for.
He got caught into these this chain of Italian comedies of a duo named Franco and Ciccio,
Yeah.
and they were
I dare you to laugh once if you watch one of these films.
well.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're putting the old vaudeville routines in the. I mean, you could almost picture Three
Yeah.
Stooges or Abbott Costello doing their routines, but it's just not good.
Yeah.
You know.
Young Dracula, basically this poster, talk about not lying. This poster tells you everything you need to know. He thinks he's a vampire and he bites women on the ass. Do. Laugh.
Well, that's where all the blood is.
Yeah. Well,
Well, that's where his mouth is.
yeah.
You guys.
But it's so he did a historical epic film. Yeah, he was a journeyman director, making way too many things to become you know, if you make too many, we've said this before, if you make too many movies, you don't become known as a great filmmaker,
Right.
because great filmmakers only film during happy hour and, well, maybe golden hour, or happy hour actually would probably be more appropriate. And, you can only make that many movies when you do that. And that's how you get a reputation. But real people need to have a roof over their head and food on the plate. So you make as many movies as you can get jobs for. And if somewhere along the way you actually are able to put some art into it, or get a reputation, as with Fulci, you get a reputation of being really good at one particular thing, you better hope that it's horror, because that is one of the few things that you can ride out probably for a whole career. I mean, horror has its ups and middles, but it never really has a down. There's always room for horror. Since the 70s on, it's always going to have an audience.
I would say the 60s.
He made a bunch of pretty good westerns too, the spaghetti westerns in the late 60s. And then, like you were saying, the adventure ones. Anyway,
which are kind of westerns too, really, just emphasis on a dog or.
Well, and I read somewhere that this was the first time where the gore really comes up, like is in his later horror movies.
Yeah,
and it's tame by comparison.
Quite tame. Although I mean, it's tame, but it's brutal. I mean, the killing of the witch. Like you were mentioning, it's harsh. They're not just showing you, they're beating her with rubber mallets. I mean, they're showing it's actually one of the most horrible ways for someone to die, to be beaten to death, stoned. Just it's long, it stretches out, it's painful, it's awful, and that scene was pretty awful.
Yeah,
well done.
And then she doesn't die right away. She tries to get away. Dies on the hillside. All right, let's jump into the cast. We have one thing I noticed is that there's really no vocal hero at the beginning, and it kind of our heroes kind of come to the forefront later in the film. Yeah. But we keep seeing this young lady in her role, and she's like we were talking about earlier. She's not really likable at first. She's kind of sus in a lot of different ways, but the character is striking, and for a couple different reasons. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I thought she did a good job.
She's not a likable character, which makes her interesting. Sort of comes into it, and she's got beautiful eyes, and luckily for her, it's early Fulci, so she gets to keep them.
Nah, that's right. There's no eyeball thing in there either. Oh my. Yeah, I liked her. I liked her quite a bit.
It's like I said earlier. I think they tried to set her up as a suspect, and that's why they did that at the beginning, to try to set her up as like she could be one of the. She could be the killer. She's one of the ones that could be a killer. But as it went on, you could just tell she was just a bored, woman.
Spoiled, privileged.
Yeah. But they certainly set her up with interactions with others and how she behaved to be a suspect in doing this, because.
Yeah, she didn't have to do it in front of a 10-year-old. For him to set that up. But like I said, it just, I don't know. It is the 70s.
Yep. And she's done a few things. We were talking before the show.
She's got a great face for this role, So we've got Amok, which I haven't seen. The Red Queen Kills 7 Times, which I haven't seen.
I have seen
Man with Icy Eyes, that I didn't even know existed, but that's a crazy pants poster. And Black Belly of the Tarantula, which I do believe I've seen, but I can't remember much about it.
These start to blur after a while.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Red Queen Kills 7 Times.
It's good. It's good. I did enjoy that. And it was at the time when I was not yet a Giallo fan, and I was kind of like, oh no, another one. And we were reviewing these at the time when they were creating these, and yeah, so I got to watch that one. And I was like, oh, okay.
What happened to Jeff? He disappeared, then he came back,
He
but he
did.
was in the shadows.
He was.
Like a specter.
He had to reboot his computer. His computer died on him. He'll be back soon. All right, Thomas. I called him Milan earlier, but it's Millian. As he's a reporter, and his character is right, and Andrea Martelli, and he's not really in the forefront until really the latter half, right?
Yeah.
He shows up in one weird scene where he climbs through a window or something. Is that what I remember? He came in through a window.
Did he? Which
like
scene was that?
I don't. It was a scene when they were.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, when they were. Yeah, he said, "How did you get in here?" He goes, "Through the window."
And when they asked him to leave, he was going to go back out.
He was going to go back out the window. Yeah. But he was sort of a goofy character at first, you know, and as you know, the typical reporter where he's nosy and wants to know everything's going on. So he came off kind of goofy, but ended up being pretty heroic. By the end.
Yeah.
And this actor, I feel like I've seen him in other roles, but usually as a villain.
Well, here's some of them, which I have not seen any of these.
Almost Human, I think I saw a long time ago, and I think he was very much the villain in that one. The last movie is such a weird movie. That's the follow-up to Easy Rider, where they just gave Dennis Hopper. Yes, they gave Dennis Hopper a bunch of money, which he spent on cocaine, and shot a movie about a bunch of guys doing cocaine and shooting movies. It's really odd. Did not make Easy Rider money, but one day I want to pick Django Kill because it's the closest thing to a horror western of all the spaghetti westerns. It's nuts. It's very cool.
Yeah,
and nothing to do with the original Django, but none of them do.
No, he plays the stranger in that. So
yeah.
Oh, he's the lead. So he's the Django.
He's
character.
Django, who probably, but I don't think that's his name. But it's got people being shot with gold bullets, and then like the townsfolk tear them open to get the bullets out. It's got, if I remember right, vampire bats, a bunch of gay desperados. It's got a hidden hoard of gold melting in a house fire and going on the head of some. It's great. It's all kinds of good stuff. Scalping and
Guess we're gonna have to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean he did a lot of stuff. I mean, he's got a lot of credits. I don't know if I recognize any of them.
But I just feel like he didn't usually play the lead hero as he did in this one. He looks like he makes a good heel, makes a good villain. But he is the good guy here, if only by default. I mean,
yeah, it is kind of by default. I mean, well, once it gets into
that whole town of people, they're awful.
Yeah. Once it gets into the third act, that's when we finally get our two leads together, and it becomes a straightforward, who's the murderer movie. All right, then we have, was it Florinda? She has the Marciera. I don't know how to pronounce it, but she's our
Evelyn the Mage.
Yeah.
Oh, there is just the feedback for you guys. Oh, maybe that's on the 80s. I can't remember.
But
anyway. I liked her a lot. I thought she was really played that character really well.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very suspected throughout most of it. And then the scene when they capture her and take her to the police station, she goes bonkers.
Yeah,
and that was interesting. That was fun to watch her do that. She did a great job.
They gave her that wild Barbara Steele look, with the.
Oh, that's right, they did. Oh, I didn't think of that.
In a way, this kind of reminds me also of some of the it's not, I would not consider this folk horror, but it still reminded me a bit of that, and that the town and the culture of the town, the superstition, the religious aspects, the backwardness of it and everything is very much a character in here. These people are trouble. And all it takes is the slightest thing. Well, in this case, not a slight thing, murdering children, and everything falls apart. And old grudges come out, and people are immediately pointing fingers and ready to string up the first suspect. And when it turns out they're not actually guilty of it, they go to the next suspect and they're ready to string that up too. They learn nothing. They learn absolutely nothing from their constant failures to find the actual killer. They're just as eager to kill the third or fourth suspect as they were for the first, second, and third. So
That's accurate. What are the films down here that you've got on here?
I've got She Is In, Fulci, Lizard in a Woman's Skin, Flavia the Heretic, which I believe is one of those nunsploitation movies, which might be my actual least favorite genre of films, but Flavia the Heretic was quite popular and influential, and a good poster, I got to say.
And she plays Flavia.
Ah, good for her. And Last House on the Beach. I don't know where they got the idea for that one.
You think? 78 too. She plays Sister
Just
Christina.
keep repeating to yourself, it's only a ripoff, only a ripoff, only a ripoff. But she was good in this, very memorable, and had the gushiest death.
Yeah.
And well played. She just.
And she has the closest thing to a supernatural or horror element, which is with the voodoo dolls. So,
yeah, and that's kind of the. I was just looking on the map, and the actual town where this was filmed was on, where the boot is on Italy. There's like a little bone spur.
The bone spur on the boot
on the back of the ankle, kind of, and that's where this was filmed, and it's. The whole thing just looks like mountains and these, I know they're not, but Pueblo-like structures all stacked.
I'll tell you, as far as horror movie locations, my ex-wife and my youngest daughter went to Italy. My ex-wife is Sicilian, and they went to some of the mountain towns that I think her family was from. And dang, these places are terrifying. They are up in the mountains. The road that you have to use to get there is like the second most terrifying thing you'll ever see. And then you get in the town and you just feel like you're about to be sacrificed to the corn god. And all it takes is a little bit of an earthquake and everything's going to come down. And of course it's built on a volcano. So these towns are amazing. They're very isolated. The people are cool. The food's fantastic. It sounds like a wonderful place to visit, but yeah, I could totally believe all kinds of bad things happening, and you're just a tourist. You have no idea.
All right. Next is Irene Pappas, and she played the priest mother, the mother of the priest.
And if I am correct, and I think I am, this actress, small role in this film, but she is like considered one of the greatest actresses of her time, and was in a lot of really, really important films, not in a lot of horror movies. How she ended up in this one, don't know. But she was in a lot of high class productions, adaptations of old Greek plays and things,
and some other things too. I mean, she's in Guns of Navarone.
Mm-hmm.
She's in Zorba the Greek.
I mean, these are major films,
and more. But yeah,
there's just something about the European actresses of that era. They can act without a word. It's badly dubbed, but it doesn't matter. You could turn the sound off, and folks like her, just the pain, they're able to just convey that. I don't know what it is.
When they were beating her son up at the end, and you could tell just by the look on her face that this is how I took it anyway, that she knew they were going to kill him or that he was going to die, but she knew he had to die.
Yeah, there was a yep. I saw that too.
Wow, Anne of a Thousand Days and Z, which maybe you said that. I don't know if you guys said this while I was incapacitated. None of the leads in this movie were Italian.
I didn't catch that.
There's a list of them here if I can find it.
So is Irene Greek?
Yeah. So Florinda Balkan is Brazilian. Thomas Millian is Cuban American. Barbara Boucher is German American. Irene Pappas is Greek. And Mark Perel and George Wilson, who is Uncle Francesco, are both French.
That's an interesting spin on it.
Wow.
I don't know what to say about it.
Apparently, all the cops were Italian, though.
That makes sense. Sorry, Italy. This scene here that you have up, where it's toward the end with the girl, right? And they're in this hut that looks like a cave, or it's a cave that the entrance looks like a hut. That was very Fulci to me. Because she came toward the camera, right? And the implications of that, and the way he shot up toward the priest when he was standing there, it just felt Fulci.
Yeah.
And Fulci liked to do bad things to priests.
Yeah. I think I got the whiff of the lapsed Catholic in him. Maybe this one more.
Well, he was working something out with the death of the way that priest died.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just the way he feels about child murders. And it also is interesting. He's not a pedophile.
No. Well,
because there's no sexual things going on.
He's trying to save them in his mind.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although
my brothers, I love them.
Yeah, I suspect that might have been some projection there.
Some projection.
Well,
did he kill any girls other than the one he tried to kill?
Yeah.
Oh, he's killing boys, but he could. Anyway.
Yeah.
He was going to kill the little girl, but that was only to.
He's going to throw up the
save who he was, I think.
Yeah. Well, there he is. And
you got his outfit is so perfect. There's I wish I thought I had found a shot of it, but I guess I didn't. There's a Dutch tilt where his outfit, which is it's got that very triangular design, and I don't know, the composition in this is really good. All three of these shots are we don't need to hear what's being said or anything. It tells a story by itself, and I like it. But he was good. As soon as you meet him, he's like, what's his purpose in this movie? He's the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he's the last person you'd suspect. Well, maybe not now. Back in the day, that was a priest as a killer. Shocking. Priest as a bad guy. Dang.
That's exactly what I thought of, though, when you said it's always. I don't know what you said something earlier on, but it had to do with how it's the guy that's least suspicious.
Yeah.
In jail. It's hard to hide a mystery anymore. You said, and I think that's why is because after you watch enough of them, you just automatically suspect the cleanest character.
Yeah.
Well,
if they're obvious, they're not it. So
if you watch CSI, and it's kind of hard not to because there's like 20 of them, the pattern becomes real obvious. There's the initial obvious suspect, and it's like, well, this is going to be a 15-minute episode, but they've got an airtight alibi, or more likely, they end up being a victim. So I guess he couldn't have killed those people because the killer killed him. And then there usually the second or third one is also seems really good, but then they get an airtight alibi. And then we go on to the next few, and then it usually turns out at some point they think 100% it's this person, but then there's a twist, And not only does it exonerate that person, but it also unairtights the initial airtight alibi of the second or third suspect. And we go right back to them. And that's the trick, is to have someone who you think is the bad guy, but then you show that he's not, and that takes him off the table, but then he's back on the table. And that's the flip at the end.
And it's not just CSI. It's all.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, they've gone to that well way too many times. But you know,
well, this and Mark Perel. So he died at the age of 34.
Oh wow!
IMDb says meningitis. Wikipedia says heroin overdose.
Well, that is.
And I heard an interview where somebody that was involved in the movie said he was a very troubled person, and that he and Tomas Millian did not get along, and they actually started punching each other during their fight there.
All right.
That's called good footage.
I'm sure Fulci didn't stop it.
No.
Like, we're rolling, right?
So yeah, it sounded like at least from somebody, there was some history of some drug problems.
That's unfortunate, because he was good in this. I thought, even for a child murderer, he was able to kind of show a certain, the inner torment and everything that, I don't say you feel any empathy for him, but he's not a mustache twirling villain. He's genuinely believes what he's the most dangerous people on earth, of course, the ones who are doing the worst things for your own good. If someone's doing it just because they're cruel or greedy, you might be able to reason with them or buy them off or something. But if someone is killing you and they think they're saving your soul or making the world a better place for doing it, man, you better just find a pointy stick or a rock, because you're never talking those lunatics out of anything.
Mark Perel was the lead male in The Psychic.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Also, this guy could have played Superman. Look at the difference between him with those glasses and him without the glasses. I wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
Looks like two different characters, doesn't it?
It looks like two completely different people to me. He sticks on a fake mustache. If he borrows Milan's fake mustache and slaps it on, he'd be a third person.
He would.
Actually, I think that's a real mustache, but
it's very 70s too.
It's very
high. All right. Yeah. Then we have our ducklings, as you put them.
Things don't go well for these folks. Boy, that kid in the middle looks real surprised.
Yeah.
Now, that was the other thing that gave away that it was the priest, because sometimes when they showed the kids, like you say, thankfully they do not show us the kids dying, but they do show us the kids like running through the woods or seeing their killer. And I think at least one of them was like happy at first, and then suddenly his face drops into terror.
Well, the guy on the bottom, and they do play a little fast and loose, because we see McKaylee, who's the guy at the bottom, or McHale, Michle, but and these kids, none of them got credits. He is listed, McKaylee, I think, at the bottom of the uncredited ones, but he gets he gets a phone call that somebody's asking him to go somewhere in the middle of the storm at a late hour, and he finally agrees to. And then it cuts to what was her name, Patricia, putting the phone down.
Yeah,
Barbara Bouchette. So you think that was the phone call, but that's not. The phone call was from the priest. She was at a gas station and she was trying to call somebody to hook up for drugs.
Yeah.
To find some marijuana.
Yeah. Cops called it hash. Get some hash.
They called it hash?
Yeah. You get some hash. No.
Stupid cops.
Isn't hash from the marijuana plant? I genuinely don't know. My experience with drugs is so shockingly limited.
Hash is like the tar. and stuff from.
But it's from the same plant, right?
Can be.
Well, I don't know. According to Wikipedia, it's a dish consisting of chopped meat, potatoes, and fries.
Wow.
Nicely done.
I know nothing.
Oh my gosh.
No, you used to get. I hate to even say this, but you'd get little tiny chunks of it and put it in a pipe and heat it up until it glowed and smoke would come off. Yeah, basically. It didn't pack in like anything. It was a little chunk of something. It is a cannabis concentrate product composed of compressed or purified preparations of stalked resin glands called trichomes from the plant. More than I could stand to know.
All right. There's your.
Who's out there making that?
I don't know.
Somebody with a science degree.
We always thought of it as a Turkish product.
No, there you go.
Hash pipes. There is a.
No, there you go. Right. Anybody have anything else to say about this movie?
Well, don't do drugs and watch a Fulci movie. I think that's really playing with fire. I'll throw that out there.
Drugs
never done LSD,
okay.
but if I was going to do LSD, I would definitely not watch a Fulci film right after taking it.
Especially not the cat's brain.
Oh God!
Oh
no.
my God!
Jeez.
You're getting full on Fulci there. Demented
You could
Fulci.
probably give me a placebo, and I'd feel like I took LSD watching that one.
Excellent. All right. Well, there you go. That's our review of Don't Torture a Duckling. We'd love to hear from you. What you thought of this film and Fulci, or if you want to make recommendations, we'd love to hear that and all kinds of things.
I was just going to make a quick comment.
Sure. Comments are welcome.
And again, maybe you guys talked about that, but the nude scene, did you talk about that much?
Only.
It was awkward.
Yeah. Well, it was shot. So those two people were never in a room together. If you look at it, the only time you see the boy and the nude woman is when it's obviously not the boy. It's like a midget or a very short man from the shoulders up with a similar head. Otherwise, it wasn't like child abuse or anything.
Yeah, the kid, the young man who played the child later commented that he regretted that he wasn't in the scene, and his parents wouldn't even let him watch the movie until he was 15.
All right. Well, I believe we have some feedback to go through.
We have some feedback. And
we have feedback.
Since Chad is kind of the Kiss fanatic, he can take the first one. 263, Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park from Wes Diorio.
Wes says, "Hi, Grue-Crew. Another great episode, even if the overall crew consensus was not so positive. So let me start my review by saying this. I am not a Kiss fan. I completely get the vibe and mystique of what they are and understand that as a live show, they are totally unique in their heyday, the 70s, but their music doesn't stand the test of time. So let me say a very sarcastic thank you, because after listening to this podcast, I had the song Detroit Rock City stuck in my head for 2 weeks.
Very good.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's worse songs you could have in your head for 2 weeks.
That's true.
But this is a movie podcast, so I'll stick to the movie Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. First, Foist. I have heard of this movie, but until I listened to this episode, I thought this movie was animated.
That would have been a good move.
Oh, my God.
I had no idea this was a live-action movie, although it would be years later when Kiss teamed up with Scooby and the gang. I assumed by the title this was that style of movie. Second, despite the lukewarm Grue-Crew review, I might actually have to watch this movie. I think if you're a Kiss fan, it's a total disappointment, especially if you were a young teen Kiss fan watching this on the first run. I disagree with that. When I watched it the first time, I thought it was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life as a Kiss fan, as a little teen Kiss fan. But it was disappointing to people who were not Kiss fans and had to watch it. But however, as a person who is not a fan but aware of Kiss and a fan of trashy 70s horror, I think I might enjoy it. I checked out some clips on YouTube and it made me laugh.
It did.
The acting and special effects reminded me of the Wonder Woman TV show starring Linda Carter. So I'll give it a try. Ironic that it might land better with non-Kiss fans. While I was watching clips, I had an idea for your next Patreon. How about TV specials that are horror adjacent, like Paul Lynde's Halloween special with Kiss and Margaret Hamilton, or the failed TV pilot Poor Devil, starring Sammy Davis Jr. and Christopher Lee? I've never heard of the Poor Devil pilot.
Yeah. I've seen it. It was amusing. I can't imagine they could have gotten a series out of it, but it's so fun to watch.
Well, but think of all the people that went, I don't really know that much about this. Kiss phenomena is really a big deal. I should probably check out this movie to see what it's about and imagine their disappointment.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the greatest thing ever. Kiss was my favorite band then.
How old were you?
I was young, but I enjoy watching it now, even though I think it's stupid. But yeah,
I'm with you.
The people who made that movie are the same ones who thought, where we ought to introduce Kiss to the masses on a Paul Lynde special.
Mm-hmm. Halloween special.
Anyone who had
they were trying to make them not
review.
scary so parents would let their kids.
Yeah, I guess.
listen.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe,
You're right. That's exactly what they were doing.
I don't know.
It worked, I guess, in some way.
All righty. Thank you, Wes Diorio. Moving on to episode 264, the Amityville Horror from Pulse 4503. The sequel is the best of the saga, in my opinion.
Yep.
There's merit in that.
Be the consensus.
Yeah.
I'll have to go watch that.
What is it? What's the full title of it?
Of the second one?
The Amityville Horror, the second story.
No, it's not that. I forget.
It was Amityville Horror Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Okay, well,
that was it.
But it was a little bit more frightening.
That's the one with the demon in the well.
No, that's the third one.
That's 3D. The 3D one.
Yeah, the 3D one.
Which is
Amityville 3D.
That's so bad it's good film.
Every third film in the trilogy should have been in 3D. It should have been The Godfather Part 3D.
That would have been awesome.
Bullets coming at you in 3D.
That's right. Yeah. Have a cannoli, and they just shove a cannoli right at the camera.
Horse heads just coming at
you.
Damn.
All right. Also on the Amityville Horror from Long and Lean 34. I think we're at Doc.
All right, I can do this. Long and Lean says, I enjoyed that film back in the day, talking about Amityville Horror. If I lived in that house, I would have invited the spirits to have breakfast with me in the morning and asked them to join me for cocktails and dinner at night. No amount of flies in a room or black goop coming out of my toilet or loud voices telling me to get out could have sent me out of that house. At the bargain basement prices they asked for that home in that location, only a house fire could have separated me from that place. I'd be standing on the front porch waiting for the fire trucks to arrive.
Yeah. That's right.
He ain't afraid
really.
of ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
I got a mortgage. I'm not leaving this place. Come on.
Yeah.
You know how much it costs? I think I've told you guys this before, but the famous mass murder in Iowa, or the most famous one, is the Villisca axe murders. Small town in Iowa named Villisca. And,
the little White House.
Yeah, it's a White House, and that was the family, all the kids, and then two kids that were over doing sleepovers. Were all killed.
Yeah.
1910 to 1920, something like that.
Did they catch the killer?
No, they never caught the killer. And whoever bought the house sells tours and nights in the house, and the night of the murder is like a lot more expensive than any other.
Of course it is.
Anyway,
Zach Bagans bought it. Yes, from that show Ghost Adventures. He bought it.
No, it wasn't him. It was, I can't remember. But anyway, it's a destination spot now, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, he owns it now, I think.
Oh, you think so?
Well, yeah, it's a big. He bought that. He bought the Conjuring house, and some other house too. And he does the same thing. He just sort of an attraction. There's a movie about it called Demon House.
Yeah, but that's not the Villisca axe murder one.
That's the little tiny house where all the kids got killed. Yeah, or everybody got killed. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'll research it and see. But the whole movie was about him buying the house and.
Oh, okay. So this is Lance Zoll, who bought it through his company U.S. Ghost Adventures.
Ghost Adventures is the show, so maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe he works for Zach Bagans. I don't know.
Well, and I didn't know that. Somebody else owned it from a local guy owned it from 94 to 2023.
Mm-hmm. You bought it just recently then?
Yes, but it when I looked up the stay in there, that was more than 3 years ago. Anyway. All right. Gotta dig this stuff out. How did I get talking about the Villisca axe murders? Okay. And next up, Bill Jose Luis Herrera Lapron, 9987.
Jose tells us, my mother had the book in the late 1970s. I was known to read the books she'd bought that I probably shouldn't have, and this was one of them. I first saw the film in the early 80s, and I've liked it ever since. I know Rod Steiger gets beaten up in some circles for giving a broad performance, but it always fit to me. The scene I most remember as a kid was seeing the quick shot of Jodie's glowing eyes outside the window. Man, oh man, did that scare me. And of course, who can resist vomiting nuns by the roadside? Great name for a band. P.S. The Car has long been a favorite. It's a film that just shouldn't work, but it does, and pretty damn well. Brolin was in Fantastic Voyage. He was the technician who climbs up on the Proteus and hands the atomic fuel container to William Redfeld. His two lines, here's the particles, sir, and all squared away, sir. Gotta start somewhere, right?
Got to, yes.
Thank you, Jose.
I remember that. I think we might have mentioned that, but I'm not sure. All right. Thanks, Jose. And from Mark as a party, E1W on the Amityville Horror. I think we're back with Chad.
Mark says, another great conversation from the Grue-Crew. I saw this when it first hit cinemas in 1979, and it remains one of my faves from that era. I did read the book a couple of times and enjoyed that as well. Great cast, good script, and fantastic music. I think the soundtrack by Lalo Schifrin is one of the best horror film scores of all time, up there with Jerry Goldsmith's Alien and John Williams' Dracula.
Okay.
This is one of my go-to films from the 70s, and I enjoy it every time I watch it, and it's easily my favorite haunted house movie.
Wow. Nice.
Great. How's it rank with you, Doc? Because I know you're the haunted house fan.
It's I like other. It's not my favorite, but it's up there. The House on Haunted Hill. I like The Haunting. I like A Legend of Hell House, also from the 70s. I like all three of those better, but this is right up there. So it's in the top 5.
All righty. From Gregory Crosby. I'm doing this wrong, I can see, but maybe not. So, Doc, Gregory Crosby,
yes.
3325.
Gregory Crosby says, years ago, I visited a friend who grew up in Amityville. She made a point of driving past the famous house, or infamous house. We parked and got out and gazed at it up close, but it looked perfectly normal. Of course, even those famous window eyes staring back down at us blankly, well, not blankly, there must have been a red light on somewhere behind them. They seemed to get redder the longer I stood there. It was a spring day, but suddenly there was a chill. I remember brushing a fly away from my friend's face, and then another. I can't remember what happened next. The rest of the day was weird blur. I guess at some point we must have gotten out.
There was an old woman who swallowed a fly.
At some point we must have gotten out. All right, and from Jerry Chandler, this is a Jerry special. So Mel,
okay. Nom. Our friend Jerry, brevity is the soul of wit Chandler, says, okay, anyhow, the movie and movie review itself. I have a weird relationship with this one. I loved it as a kid, but it became less of a favorite in later years. Aspects of it just don't work right for me anymore. Unlike picks up shade and stretches throwing arm, stick in the mud Bill. I'm a huge haunted house fan. I think some of the performances come across as too manic. And while I don't quite share to the level of a mutual friend of ours, the more the real story elements fell apart over the years, the more the movie feels off for exploiting real, actual murders to fabricated demonic house haunting yarn. It's a classic of the genre, but it doesn't hold up well enough for me to really recommend it these days, unless it's to a haunted house completist or someone who wants to see movies that had a massive significance to the horror genre. The poster with the light making an upside-down cross in the yard that you all hadn't seen before and thought might have been from a VHS box? Nah, that was the Jeff poster. That was a Jeff poster. What's a Jeff poster?
I think because it's German is all I can.
Okay, so a poster
because I've been sitting there trying to figure that out too.
That makes sense. From the poster, don't try to read it all. Just figure out the language. Das something blah 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 blah. Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna read this. Here, I'll do my best German.
No, stop. No.
Yeah, the franchise.
Well, the first part is Georgia Kathleen and their 3 children. I don't know what Warren means. In the night. Punisher Angst House. I mean, I know individual words, but not the whole story. 28 days long, something sie dort dem Terror übernatürliche. That's probably supernatural. Übernatürliche.
All I know is the word for bat in German is der Fledermaus. So Batman would have been der Fledermaus, man. That would not have worked. Yeah, the franchise has become insanely strange these days. It's also massively low budget. A couple of the more recent Amityville movies look like they were made on a $36.98 budget with FX from a hacked Nintendo 64 game. Accurate. Seriously, you brought up pigs eating people, and none of you did even a little bit of Bricktop from the movie Snatch. And now we go into the whole of Jerry Chandler, the Jerry Chandler zone, where we are fools for not picking up on some obscure reference to a movie that, yes, was popular, but holy God almighty. And then he gives the whole thing on from Snatch. Bricktop, a character from Snatch, I guess. You always going to have problems lifting a body in one piece. Apparently, the best thing to do is to cut up a corpse into 6 pieces and pile it all together. Jerry's a cop, by the way. When you get your 6 pieces, you got to get rid of them because it's no good leaving it in the deep freeze for your mom to discover now, is it? Then
this is all fictional now. This is not a how-to.
Mm-hmm.
This is fictional.
Then, yeah, totally. This would not work.
I thought this was Jerry talking to his mom.
I think so. Then I hear the best thing to do is feed them to pigs. You got to starve the pig for a few days. Oh, then the sight of a chopped up body will look like curry to a piss head. Oh, man. You got to shave the heads of your victims and pull the teeth out for the sake of the piggy's digestion. Oh,
my God.
That's smart.
You
could do this afterwards, of course, but you don't want to go sieving through pig shit now, do you? No. They will go through bone like butter. You need at least 16 pigs to finish the job in one sitting, so be wary of any man who keeps a pig farm. Wisdom there. You will go through a body that weighs 200 pounds in about 8 minutes.
Wow.
That means that a single pig can consume 2 pounds of uncooked flesh every minute. Hence the expression, greedy as a pig. And since that wasn't enough, he goes on another tangent about Abermillin the Mage. There's a 4-panel comic that floats around the internet ever so often that makes fun of people trying to say Worcestershire sauce, a patron at an old world eatery, and a waiter having a discussion. Waiter, would you like anything with that, sir? Patron, can I have some Worcestershire sauce? What? Worcestershire sauce? Welsh sour sauce? Washing shooter sauce? Waiter, are you having a stroke? Every 2 weeks, Decades of Horror becomes that comic.
Oh, no.
Abermall the Image, Watermelon and Sage, I've Been Miles in Days, Abby Normal the Brain, Bill and Chad. Are you having a stroke?
Possibly.
Between this and Doc trying to read the names in South American, Chinese, and Japanese movies, you could make it a road show at the comedy clubs.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Jerry.
Oh, my God.
I keep telling you, the trick is to say it with authority, whether you're right or
That's
wrong.
right.
Don't stumble over it. Just whatever you pick, just say it. Act like
I was telling him, like, I literally can go and do the sound thing on the internet, like, before it. Even say it a couple times with you guys in front of me, and then when it comes time to say it while we're doing it comes out.
Abernathy and natural.
Yeah. My mouth says, nope, no, I got a surprise for you.
Okay. Thanks, Jerry.
Matter.
Although we're not done with Jerry, we're going to move on to
he's not done with us.
Episode 265, The Witch Who Came from the Sea, from Rossano Macchioni. Where are we at? Chad. Second paragraph, because it's in Italian, but I ran it through the translator. That looks pretty good.
All right. Rosano says, I own the import DVD in the original language. The film is quite original, featuring a very vengeful witch, in quotes, a metaphor for parental abuse of their children, followed by vengeance in adulthood. The witch exists only in the title.
Yep.
This is all true.
Very true, very true. It still sucks, but it's true.
Thank you, Rosano. And now for Bon Pourvu, which I forgot. I told you what that meant. It's like, oh, good for you. I think it's good for you. Yeah.
Okay. Is that me?
Yeah, it's a you.
All right. Bon Pourvu says, about the witch that came from the sea. I always get this movie's title, mixed up with the sailor who fell from grace with the sea. I've managed to avoid both movies, as there are better ones out there, in my opinion. Entertaining episode, guys. Mentioning no names, I learned how to use a waterless carburetor and got a list of blue movies and the image of Roddy McDowell as a WWF wrestler. Keep up the good work. Mm-hmm. Oh my! That's when we, instead of Roddy Piper, he said Roddy McDowell. Yeah, it was Bill.
I remember the blue movies. There was somebody in the cast made a bunch of porno flicks with real obvious titles. Yeah. All right, and I think last, but without a doubt, not least, Jerry Chandler again on The Witch Who Came from the Sea.
Am I the Jerry Chandler whisperer or something? I mean, no matter what order it is, it's like, oh, Jerry's next. So
I didn't even pick it.
So
I think Jerry is working overnight stakeouts or something to have this much time on his hands.
Probably furiously typing as the villains are disappearing from the bank vault or whatever it is he's supposed to be watching.
For these long in the ass comments.
Yeah.
But they're great. Come on.
They're great. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're okay.
So, speaking of The Witch Who Came from the Sea,
okay.
Jerry says, so Chad, the Loch Ness Horror doesn't seem quite so bad now. Ed, let it go, Jerry. It's terrible. The movie's terrible.
Yeah. I'll go back and watch The Witch.
Would you
suffer through that before I watched Loch Ness Horror again, though?
I think you actually said the opposite during the episode. But
Chad's fickle.
Yeah, I remember hating this movie.
It's hard to rank the hates,
Right. I mean, in fairness, the Loch Ness Horror does have a monster in it, as opposed to the witch, which has no witches.
Who goes on to play Sherlock Holmes? Hey.
That's true. That's right. Bullshit or not. I think Doc is talking about American Horror Project from Arrow. It was this film, Carnival of Blood and The Premonition. They even did a volume 2 with even worse films.
Yes, they did.
It was also how I saw it for the first time in ages and realized I was confusing it with Season of the Witch, which I also hadn't seen in forever at that point. And I could not remember a damn thing about it, even as I was watching it, other than sort of knowing I once saw it. When you guys announced you were doing it, I looked it up on streaming and watched it again pretty much when I saw the announcement, because despite watching it back during the COVID lockdowns, I couldn't remember a damn thing about it. It's been about 2 weeks now, and I could not tell you most of what's in this film, and certainly not in the order it happened. Yeah, you're right. I watched the entire thing in one sitting, which was probably a mistake, and it was the film equivalent of reading cheap electronic device instructions that haven't been translated to English by someone who doesn't actually speak English. It's rather confusing and doesn't make sense, and even when it does make sense, it's too boring to really engage with. The only interesting thing that kept going through my mind while watching this was, oh, it's Second Lieutenant Hanley from the Combat TV show. That was a fun show.
Yay! Rick Daisy.
I will probably never watch this movie again. And I will only recommend it to people I wish to torture.
No.
Yeah, the Arrow video release used new cover art, probably because they didn't want to continue to rip off Frank Frazetta's estate. No, Bill, the kids in this film weren't better than just okay actors. They just seemed that much better compared to everyone else's performance. He directed Hundra? No, Bill, it's not absolutely horrible, and I loved watching it the first time as hosted by Joe Bob Briggs. Well, everything's better with Joe Bob Briggs. The test is it any good without Joe Bob? The Movie Channel Theater, and then he included a link to the Movie Channel Theater Joe Bob Briggs Hundra intro promo. He adds that Dean Cundy is a underappreciated genius, and he knew exactly where to place the camera on Galaxina. Great discussion on the, film, I guess. Three of you did your usual great job, and I like this new guy you had on this week. Given a little more time and fine-tuning, he might even become a really great co-host for the show.
Yeah.
No, I'll just keep interrupting and talking too long.
Yeah.
But thanks.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks for all the feedback. Well, let's thank them all. Jerry twice, right?
Yeah.
I skipped one.
On Purview, Rosano Maciano. Who else do we have? Gregory Crosby, Mark as the party, Jose Luis Herrera, Laprone, Long and Lean, Pulse, and West Diorio.
All right. I don't think this is correct, but we do have a film picked for.
Oh, it's not correct.
Yeah. What is the film that we have for 2 weeks from now?
Well, I think it's mine, but let me look real quick and double check. I don't know why I jumped into 80s.
Yeah. I mean, while you're doing that, coming up on the 80s, we're going to be doing Big Trouble in Little China from 1986.
Woo-hoo.
So that is a winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
If you have not listened to the 80s yet, you better start with that one.
Okay. Yes, it is my pick. And it's Alucarda.
Oh, no. Yes, of course.
Which is a...
what does that mean?
It's a Mexican movie, and it's strangely erotic.
Oh.
Which is why
I've seen a lot of... I watched it because I thought it was Mexican, and I kind of dig Mexican horror movies, and so now I'm going to make y'all watch it.
Man, I'm not going to get divorced watching this, am I?
I don't think so. No, it's not. It's probably in the neighborhood of like Flesh for Frankenstein or Blood for Dracula.
The kind of stuff you see on Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah, Witch
maybe
from
Nick at
the
Night.
Sea. The witch that came out of the sea.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. Whatever.
So I'm fired up to see what you guys think, because I was surprised by the fact that it was Mexican, because I hadn't seen that many movies through this period that had a lot of nudity and had that overall take, I guess.
And his dream came true.
It did. And that's what we're watching next. 1977, Alucarda.
Better be good.
And we don't have to tell you what that spells backwards.
No. A Dracula.
Juan
Lopez Moctezuma.
Yes.
The director.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I don't know why I had to bring that up. But there you go.
Well, you were hoping it was going to be something you knew, but you were wrong.
Somebody out there does know it. All right. Well, join us in 2 weeks to hear all about that. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. We'd love to hear from you. Please do so by leaving some comments down here below on YouTube, heading over to Gruesome Magazine. You leave comments there. You can do it through Instagram or Facebook. You can also reach us by email, if you still do that, at feedback@gruesomemagazine.com.
And become a patron and live a life of the elite for pennies a day.
Really, it's like fractions of pennies a day.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're going with that, but hey.
You get cool stuff.
All right, cool stuff. Chad, Jeff, Bill, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yes.
Great seeing you, man.
Let's say goodnight.
Yes.
Night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Gruesome Magazine.